Hi there, and welcome to this Lunch and Learn. There's been a lot of talk recently about treatment plan acceptance rates and how do we track this. A lot of the dental software systems out there do have methods of tracking, but quite often all the stuff that you need to do within the software to utilize it effectively enough to make sure that that reporting is actually accurate can be a complex process and can be difficult to get the whole team on board. I have always used a manual system for tracking treatment plan acceptance, and I think with this manual tracking it really does help each individual practitioner as well to become very aware of what's going on in their appointment book and what's going on with their patients whom they're trying to engage into the dental treatment plan itself, and how many of them are actually booking in, and the link that they can make between the conversations that they've got in their memory and that person then didn't book in for any kind of option of their dental treatment, what went on there. So I think there are advantages to manually checking this for each individual practitioner, especially newer grad practitioners who are on that journey of discovering how to communicate well, how to become efficient and productive in the surgery, and how to build up their own appointment book. So this is what I call the Daysheet assessment process, and I wouldn't want to replace any good working systems out there which get the information really efficiently and accurately from the dental software. But as I say, if you're having trouble at all in getting that accurate figure because of the fact you're not using the software system, or all the team members aren't using the software system in a manner that is really conducive to those accurate figures at the end of the day, then certainly this could be a fantastic thing that you could adopt into your practice. So let's talk about the Daysheet assessment process. With the Daysheet assessment process, what I encourage all practitioners to do is to have a printout, a physical printout of their appointment schedule for the day. They keep it in the surgery and they're going to make some notations on that sheet throughout the day, and then hang on to those sheets because they're going to become useful for yourself personally, but certainly useful if your team do gather together and discuss what's happened in the past month in terms of treatment plan conversion rates. This is an example of a Dental for Windows software generated appointment schedule for a day. And as you can see, there's some red markings, and so number one, print out that physical sheet every single day, have it in your surgery. Even if you often refer to the software version of the appointment schedule, to have the physical printout. Also, grab a red pen as well. As you move through the appointment times of your day, anything that is outside of a general maintenance visit, a recall visit, that you have suggested to a patient, treatment that is required at some point over the coming weeks or months, make a tick next to those names. And then as those patients book in for those appointment times, then you just circle that tick. Now, that circling of the ticks can happen at the next time you've got a break in the day. Just look back over the previous couple of patients. Did they actually book in for the treatment that was recommended to them? It could be just done at the end of the day. Quickly tap into each of the appointment times that came in that day. Circle if they've made further appointment times. Remember, we're not talking about recalls. We're talking about fillings, root canals, extractions, all the other treatment that needs to be done over the coming weeks or months, the planned treatment plan. So by the end of the day, you've got a series of ticks there. In this situation, there's 5 ticks with 4 of them being circled. And now you've got your treatment plan acceptance rate for that day as 80%. Because we've got 4 out of 5 ticks circled there. Now, as we know, as receptionists know, that some patients do need to go off and refer to a work diary or schedule or organise a call to their health fund before they can make that booking. So the second step in terms of circling the ticks, that means marking down the accepted treatment plans, is at the end of the month, just prior to gathering the team together to assess these figures, go through all of the uncircled ticks from your previous day's day sheets and assess whether any of those clients that didn't book immediately for the treatment plan that you advised have since called back and scheduled in, or maybe the receptionist has called them and prompted them to schedule in. So at the end of the month, you're doing a final check. All you need to do is go through all the ticks that aren't circled and see whether they need to be circled or not. When you gather together at the conclusion of every month, you will have a very accurate reading of I presented this many treatment plans and this many people booked in for their appointment time. And so therefore that is your acceptance rate. That is your treatment plan acceptance rate or treatment plan conversion rate, depending on what you call it within your practice. It's a really simple system, and it's a system that can actually provide a little bit more data for the practitioners that you may find highly useful. The other thing that I do suggest practitioners note down in red on their day sheets are things like when you ran half an hour earlier, 20 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier, because you can start to see, because you're the one making those notations, you can start to see, gosh, every time I'm booking in a cram prep, I'm running a little early. I can start to become more productive and efficient and start only asking for 75 minutes rather than 90 minutes for my cram preparations. What about every new patient adult examination, first examination? I tend to run a little bit over. I obviously have a lot of explanation and communication to put forward to that patient during that appointment time. I'm going to start extending that out a little bit. And so it's a very useful process to go through this day sheet assessment and start to reveal the things that are important to any practitioner in terms of making sure that they have stress-free days, productive days, and efficient days as well. So these are in addition to tracking just the treatment plan acceptance rate. I've also got a note here that you could possibly count up the number of appointment times that you have every day. This is a figure that many dental consultants suggest is a good thing to track. I personally don't see the relevance, but it's there just because it might be something that you see the relevance of and you'd like to track. I certainly suggest that you note down at the end of every day how much was invoiced that day. It's, again, very useful information, especially for newer grads who are building up their appointment book, building up their productivity, to be very aware of how much you invoice out every day. So you can start to see fluctuations and start questioning why it's dipped for whatever reason and wondering why it's actually all of a sudden increased as well. Number of new patients that you're seeing every day, that's another good figure. If you're trying to build up your appointment book, you want to make sure that there is a new patient flow coming into you. If there's not, there's questions to ask. Am I not providing a strong enough experience to new patients where either the new patients where existing patients aren't referring more additional patients directly through to me, or maybe that the support staff don't have the faith in my process, so we can have a discussion about how that can be built out to be more powerful. How about downtime? Another great thing to recognize that how much downtime do I have every day and how could I utilize that time better? Is the downtime because there's 15-minute gaps in between appointment times that we could just consolidate all the appointment times and have a big 1 hour booking in addition to what already is in the schedule? Is it because I'm running early every now and again and I could be actually booking more effectively in terms of the time I'm requesting the receptionist book that next patient in for? So there is a bunch of information that is very useful for the practitioner to be completing this sheet themselves. It takes just seconds to complete. It does not take a long time at all. And once you're in the process of doing it, you will start to see the relevance of the information that you're collating. Add other bits of information in there as well if you are eager to do so and if you're going to find it useful. But purely just focusing on the topic of today of treatment plan acceptance rates, this has been when the software systems are not the best viable option, this has been the best proven method that I've used in many dental practices to track each individual practitioner's treatment plan acceptance rates. And if you find that you have some practitioners who get stronger treatment plan acceptance rates than other members of your team, that is a crucial, wonderful, God-given moment to learn from the master and say, to that particular practitioner, you seem to be absolutely aces in this area. You've mastered this area. Can you role play what you do so we can all benefit and pick up on the hints and tips from your role play and start to implement it into our surgeries as well, so we can all continue to raise the bar together and get better and better all the time. There's a download that's attached to this. This will be part of it, but then the second page is the guide. So it goes into the details I've just moved through now to help you see how to actually utilize and implement the Daysheet assessment process within your practice. Good luck with it. I hope it delivers you the information that you need in an accurate way. And as you can imagine, when it's each individual practitioner doing it for themselves, and it just takes within 5 minutes, you would get all that information for a whole day. It doesn't become a large task. We don't have a practice manager or receptionist sitting there going through every practitioner's details at the end of every month, and it takes them half a day to do it. No, this is designed to be productive, efficient, and have the awareness of the practitioner of what's going on in their day and how they're performing every day in these specific areas. And so it's 5 minutes from every practitioner every day. Keep all of the data to reflect upon, to track, and to show and see how far you grow over the weeks and months of doing this sort of tracking. Good luck with it. Please contact me if you need any assistance with it.